Today we take a look back at KUSA 2025 and bring the best bands and interviews from the year. So get ready to dance. This is how I dance, because this is the Best of Good Friends Friday and it starts right now.
Portions of Colorado and Company contain paid content.
Good friends, gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
Hello all and welcome to Colorado and Company. I'm so excited because today we're looking back at some of the Best of Good Friends Friday bands. You better believe we are starting with our Girl Power picks. Rock on, Girl Power.
If I could mend for you, I'd lick all your wounds, but I can't, so I've gotta let you heal. If I could make sense for you, I'd find every truth, but I won't, so I've gotta let you feel. But I will stand by you if you still want me to. If you let me, I'll let you. Because I to love you too. Que nuestro amor es eterno. Meet me under the mango tree. Escape the thunder and the heat. Colors orange, red and green. Meet me under the mango tree. Your sweaty palm in mine, it feels like a dream. The memory so divine, but time is a thief, stealing your face from my memory. Lloro por ti, lloro por ti. Meet me under the mango tree. Escape the thunder and the heat. Colors orange, red and green. Meet me under the mango. Give me that dulce piragua. You know that I wanna run through these streets. Let them hear me scream for a longing of simple time. Memory that floods my mind. Take me back, yeah. Are you through with me? Have I been mean? For the right price, could I be nice? Or will I just have to fake it? Well, I left my keys in another city where the nights are long and the girls are pretty. Could it be enough to escape what I'm running from? I'm electric, baby, say my name. I wanna eat your heart. Will you shake my brain up if I wake in the morning and it all comes back again? Will it ever end? It may not be straight how I always clear my plate, but it's something to do with always wanting more. Would it be okay kissing strangers by day? At night I drive fast, check my innocence outside the door. And fall, just fall with me into the sky, striping streams, watch the blood of my veins find you. My darling, you, I always knew, I always knew. It's early, another early morning. I'll watch the stars say goodnight for the rest of my life. For you, and if the sun won't rise, I've got the light of my life. He stays in bed till 9. It's alright. It's my darling, you, I always knew, I always knew.
If you want to jam out some more of your favorite bands, you can find them on our YouTube channel. Just search Colorado and Company.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Winter is here, and if your home cannot take the cold and snow, it may be time to think about what Dave Thomas is offering in this Best of 2025 segment. Check it out. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
You're
appreciate
slaying your outfit.
Oh, well, come on.
Just letting you know I'm being honest.
Blush. I mean,
well,
come on.
let's blush with your new Vivid window. This is from Marvin, and you call it the ultimate. And you never speak in superlatives, so tell me.
For the woman who is always cold. Perpetually cold.
I know.
And maybe late, but always
maybe
cold.
Late, but always cold. I'm always
this
cold.
This is for you, right?
Okay, talk to me.
Most new homes in Colorado are built with vinyl windows. They're plastic. They're those white, cheap, ugly windows, and they are letting air in to your house like nobody's business. A vinyl window on average can leak up to 3 gallons of air a minute.
Nuh-uh,
It's
3
crazy.
gallons?
Yeah, and it's because the frame is screwed into your house, but the sashes, right, the operable parts of the windows, up and down, side to side.
Mine went up and down.
You got it. They're not attached to the frame. So on a crazy cold day like this, those sashes are contracting. Plastic contracts. And there's no way to keep the air from coming in around the window.
That's why it's so drafty.
That's why your curtains are moving back and forth. That's
I thought
why
it was
you
a
can-
ghost.
That's why you can
It's
see
not a
your
ghost.
breath. We at Mountain Safe Exteriors and Marvin Windows have created a solution to that problem, and that is the new window from Marvin called the Vivid.
The Vivid, everybody.
Gonna give you a little chemistry
Okay,
here, right?
here we go.
Glass as a material is thermoset, and what that means is that it has to be under a tremendous amount of heat before it starts to get soft or cold and move, right?
Okay.
You've seen them blow glass, molten hot,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So no matter how much heat or how much cold is baking on your glass,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't move. But what's holding the glass, which is the sash,
Okay, which is
and-
gorgeous.
and the frame,
Okay.
is what's important. And in a vinyl window or a wood window, it is expanding and contracting
see.
constantly, and that's what's causing those gaps and making you go up and put your hand around
I
the
do
window.
this all the
going,
time.
Yeah, going, why is this thing leaking like a sieve?
Right.
So Marvin said, hey, if the glass isn't expanding and contracting logically, what if we could make the sash and the frame all out of the same material?
Smart.
If we could do that, we would eliminate what's killing everything. Michigan over here.
Hey,
Glad
go blue,
Smart girl, smart girl. That eliminates all that expansion and contraction. Marvin created the fiberglass window. Here it is in its purest form. They just
Unbelievable.
built this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. We're talking $1 billion plant in Kansas City, custom made to size. Any color you want will literally transform the look of your house.
God, I love this. You're making me excited
I
about
know,
windows.
gorgeous.
Okay, I talked about drafts earlier, but what other signs are there like that you need a new window? You know what I'm saying?
Perfect. Fogging between the glass.
I have that.
Or
Uh-huh.
discoloration where you see like the rainbow in the glass.
I have that
You've
as well.
Lost your seal. And the other thing is all this water condensing on the inside. Like, why is my window
Wet,
sweating? I
yeah.
don't want it to be wet because it just freezes up and turns into ice here in January
Great.
and February, right?
Yep.
We're going to eliminate all of that. This is it. This window will literally repel 98.5% of all radiant heat in summer, retain 98% in the winter.
Saving you energy,
And
though.
because it's not dependent on argon,
Right.
like most windows, which leaks out, this window will always be at that level.
Always.
Always.
Consistency. That's
It's
what I
a
like.
50-year, look you in the eye, I'll never see you
Again
again.
thing.
Put it in your window.
And it's
Put it in your
gorgeous,
house.
too.
Yeah,
Okay,
fabulous.
are there any other signs that we should be looking at on the house that we should be looking at the outside?
For sure. I mean, your trim, what's around the windows.
Yeah.
Most replacement companies in Colorado, they do it the quick, fast, cheap, lick it, stick it, Band-Aid way, right?
Yeah.
Where they just cut the old window out and they stick a new window in and they just count on foam and caulk holding it in place and
That's not
keeping
gonna
the water out. That's not what we do. You see this thing?
Yeah.
You know what it is.
It's called the flange, everybody.
Yes, this
the
is
flange.
critical to a good window replacement. You want this back on the sheathing of the house first, siliconed, taped off, and then new trim around the window so that none of this stuff is leaking through.
This is how not cheaply done it is. This is the
That's
best way.
correct.
Okay,
No
this
question
is
about it.
Okay. What if I want to? I'm a visual person. I always ask you, how can I visualize the project and how many colors? Because I'm going to go crazy. Can I get if I want to look at
We
this?
can do an entire 3D rendering of the entire house. We can put grids on them. We can change the configuration of the windows.
Oh, there it is.
There's a picture. We can change them from black to white, whatever you want. We will show you what they look like in the house. And here's another thing. Most replacement companies in Colorado are Class C contractors. That means they're going to be able to put windows in existing openings.
Right.
Colorado has amazing views.
Yeah.
These windows are as efficient as your walls. You can open up your house. If you have great views, these photos that you've seen
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
of these, we have cut all of those openings
You can make
in
new
and
windows.
actually created the openings.
Oh, for the views.
You got
The
it.
Views with a cup of cocoa.
You got
All right,
it.
finally, what if we wanted to add doors? I know people, when
Yep.
they want to do it, they want to do one and done.
Come
Let's
down to
see
the
that.
showroom in Greenwood Village. Look at we have many doors. Multi-slide, bi-parting, you name it, you dream it, Marvin will build it and we will install it. Read our reviews, they are perfect online. We are locally owned.
Amazing.
The owner is OCD. He actually cares about your purchase in your house and what you did. We run our own crews. This is the time to do it. I know everybody's busy at home right
Yeah,
now,
right.
holidays, yada, yada, yada. The prices are going up January 3rd.
Everyone hear that?
They are going up January 3rd. This is the blowout. This is the biggest sale of the year. We don't have to install them in
You
January.
can buy them.
Buy them now, and we will put them in the spring or whenever you want. And oh my gosh, you'll save a pile of money. So the smart consumer is looking at this going, waited all year, this is the time.
This is the time.
Rip the Band-Aid off, do it. It'll change your house. It'll change the way you live in your house.
Amazing. Hear that? Woo, woo. That's the Get It Now alarm. I just made
You
up.
got it.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, call Mountain Safe Exteriors right away to hold on to these 2025 prices because they are going up soon. Plus, Dave, he's the best, will give you 20% off your project, including the brand new Vivid Windows by Marvin that we just saw. Enjoy no money down, no interest, and no payments for 2 whole years. Call for that free, no obligation consultation today or online at mountainsafe.com. Mountain Safe Exteriors sponsored today's segment. Coming up next on our Best of Good Friends Friday episode, the Rick Lewis Project has taken over our stage with a powerhouse sound that always gets the whole studio moving. You do not want to miss this, but first, how about a little holiday chorus?
I found a new baby. Da-da-da. I found a new boy. Da-da-da. That sweet talking baby. Has filled me with joy. Has filled me with joy. His new way of loving is all that I crave. All that I crave. That sweet turtle doving. It's hard to be great. Sweetest kiss, what a kiss, full of bliss, can't resist somehow. Tell me lies, he is wise, naughty eyes, mesmerize, I vow, and how I don't mean maybe, I just had.
For our next Best of Good Friends Friday, you're gonna wanna get up and dance. I need to learn how to dance. They are a 2-time Coco guest. Here's the best of the Rick Lewis Project.
It's your voice that he hears. You say, come back tonight. It's for you, beloved. And he can't hear me, feel me, try to pull him away from you. Give him back to me. Let him go. You had your fun, you came undone, but now he's breathing. Give him back to me. Let him go. You had your chance to take your dance, and now he belongs with me.
I told myself this was what I wanted when you have no trouble getting to know you. I don't know why I'm such a dummy, like a bad detective didn't have a clue. Wow, but now I've come out of the dark, baby, and I see what's been here all the time. Spot lady and sugar, let me ride your fire. Because I miss you like a cockeyed marksman, baby. Found out there ain't no getting over you, no. And I said I miss you like a cockeyed marksman, sugar. Without you I could die sicker than the blues, yeah. Well, I said, I miss you, baby. I thought it. Listen.
You see, we paid our dues. I tell you, honey, I've thought this through, yeah. Oh, I've thought this through. Well, I'm coming for you. Coming for your heart, baby. Oh, I'm coming for you. Coming for your heart. I'm about to battle me now every day. Knock 2 times on the door if you want me. 3 times if you never wanna leave. Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're back with more GFF highlights right after this.
Did you ever wonder why? Did you ever see me cry? Did I ever make a sound?
Trish, I ain't talking about a flood, tsunami overflow, yeah, I'm drowning in your love. You're lost, don't know what you're missing. Should've thought it through because you made the wrong decision. In too deep, now take it from the weight. Feeling like you're trying to suffocate me. You ain't appreciate me. Now that I'm done, it's trying to celebrate me. Climbing to the top, but you want me in the cellar. I can feel the rain, so I'm grabbing my umbrella. Ella, elevate to the sky, and I'm sitting back thinking if you ever wondered why, like,
Did you ever wonder why? If I could just recall, they got the facts in, my back's against the wall. So about a good book, for the book gets thrown at me. I never said such things, you know I gotta please. Somebody's been abused. I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. Oh, now I stand accused. I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. See, I just can't be sure. I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. Oh, it was our love blood. I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth, I plead.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Today's Healthy Colorado conversation is actually for the men in our lives and the steps they can take to lower their risk of prostate cancer. Earlier, I spoke with Dr. Thomas with Colorado Urology at St. Anthony Hospital, part of Common Spirit Health. Take a look at this.
I want to talk about prostate cancer and the steps, the early signs that people should be looking for.
Sure. Well, one issue that we have with prostate cancer is that there aren't early signs typically. That's why we rely heavily on screening to detect who's going to potentially develop a significant prostate cancer. I see patients almost every day saying, doc, I feel fine. I really don't think I have cancer. Or even people that we know have prostate cancer saying, I feel good. And that's part of the problem is we don't get signs or symptoms really to rely on. So that's where screening becomes important.
And it is kind of crazy to think that people are more afraid of the unknown in that situation, right? They need to take the steps. They need to come forward and, like you said, get screened. So at what ages and frequency should men start screening?
Sure. So that gets pretty convoluted and depends on where you look. There's societal guidelines from multiple different societies. I'm a urologist. I listen mostly to the AUA, or the American Urological Association. And the standard, it depends on your risk factors. It gets a little confusing, as I mentioned. But to keep it relatively simple is for a man at average risk, we want to typically get a baseline PSA, which is a blood test. And we can talk a little bit more about that, but we want to start at about age 45 to 50.
Okay.
That helps establish a baseline. If everything looks good there, then we would start screening a little more in earnest around age 50 to 55. And that's typically a blood test every, again, depending on which guidelines you look at, every 1 to 2 years or so.
Let's talk about the options for testing and screening.
Sure.
So how do we take those first steps?
So most of this is going to be managed by your primary care physician.
Okay.
So the most important thing is to have a primary care physician. Sometimes there are various other ways to get screened, either by seeing a urologist directly, et cetera. But most screening, the most important part for most men is going to be a PSA blood test. Just a simple blood draw. It's looking for a protein in the blood that gets secreted by the prostate. And then we can also include rectal examination of the prostate if needed. That's not for everybody, but we often include that, especially for kind of more borderline cases.
But I think it's really important to say, like you said, it is a simple blood test that you start with. So you don't want to scare anyone off, but this is something that really could help you in the long run. If the diagnosis is prostate cancer, then what are the treatments today? So like, what does recovery look like after that?
Sure. And I would like to, just start by saying that we do have, PSA screening has come under fire in the past for finding too much, basically, finding sometimes prostate cancers that we don't need to treat. Part of the goal of us as urologists is to be more judicious with who to take the next steps on. So we do have additional testing, not just blood tests. There are urine-based markers that are more specific if somebody meets those criteria, if their PSA is borderline, et cetera. So just because you come in and have one blood test that's a bit elevated doesn't mean you're automatically getting a biopsy and getting treated. There's a lot of steps in the way. So that's really our job, is to be kind of the gatekeepers and figure out who benefits from taking those further steps.
Right.
So when we have identified somebody who is at higher risk, typically the diagnosis is made by a prostate biopsy. Not all prostate cancers, in fact, probably as many as about half of prostate cancers that we find, we can safely watch through a process called active surveillance. So again, just because you get diagnosed with prostate cancer doesn't mean you're having any aggressive treatment. But we do try to identify what we call the bad actors, the prostate cancers that will be problematic. And prostate cancer is the second leading cause of death, cancer death at least, in men after lung cancer. So it is a significant problem, and we are trying to identify those bad ones. And there are multiple treatment options for people out there.
And it's really important that you laid those out there too, because that is very helpful to kind of know where to start and where to proceed and how you guys handle it as well. We have heard about the robotic assisted procedures that are being explored, so curious about your thoughts on that.
Sure. So prostatectomy, or surgical removal of the prostate, is one of several options. The two main branches would be surgery versus radiation to the prostate. Within surgery, the vast majority of surgeries are being performed with a robotic assistance. So that doesn't mean the surgeon or somebody pushes a button and leaves the room. It's really the surgeon controlling a device. The most common brand is Da Vinci. It's basically a form of laparoscopic surgery. So most people have heard of that if you have a gallbladder removed or sometimes a hernia repair. It's a way of doing surgery through small holes in the skin. The robot allows better manipulation and dexterity within the body. Because a prostatectomy is a pretty complex procedure, it's very delicate, and the robotic assistance allows a better surgery. This has been really gaining popularity over the past 20 years, and now is how over 95% of prostatectomies are performed in the U.S. Let's
talk about reducing the risk. Is there a way to reduce the risk of this for men?
Sure. So as far as reducing your risk of having an advanced prostate cancer, it starts with screening, like we mentioned. You want to make sure you're established with your primary care physician. They should be checking that PSA probably every 1 to 2 years or so, and then referring to a urologist as needed. So that's a relatively straightforward step you can take, is just have a doctor, have somebody who's quarterbacking this. As far as other things you can do, sometimes you can't control everything. Some men are going to do everything right and get prostate cancer and be frustrated by that. which is normal. But things you can take control about are just your general health. So maintaining a healthy weight, exercising, maintaining, or at least avoiding diabetes, and things that would fall into the metabolic syndrome category. That might not prevent you from getting prostate cancer, but there's pretty good evidence that in doing so, your risk of an aggressive prostate cancer is going to be lower.
These are all such great notes to be taking for men of those ages, like you said, getting that primary care doctor. Doctor, thank you so much for coming in today and kind of mapping this all out for us. Super important. Human kindness really is what Common Spirit is all about. Visit their website, get to know more about their hospitals and their doctors, like Dr. Pacell at St. Anthony. Go to mountain.commonspirit.org. This Healthy Colorado segment is sponsored by Common Spirit Health.
Up next on Colorado and Company, a performance that feels like a deep breath. Maybe Fern is taking our stage with their gorgeous indie sound.
It's my turn. I've heard your last word.
You love local artists, which I think is so wonderful, and you're very supportive. Why is that so important to you?
Because Denver is one of the best kept entertainment secrets in the whole country. We have better bands here than I've seen in LA, New York, or Chicago, even Detroit.
Yeah.
And one of the bands we're going to see today is worthy, truly worthy.
I love spending time with Hazel Miller. Now, a great way to start your weekend is with leather and guitars. Here's a fan favorite for our next Best of Good Friends Friday band, Maybe Fern. Hit it!
Hey, now lady face, you know she gonna win the race, and though she's lacking in grace, oh, the girls will chase. And she's sitting in a corner wearing nothing but a smile and a lollipop. And she's sitting in a corner wearing nothing but a smile and a lollipop. Hey, now lady bass, she's running at full pace. She's got those eyes like space, but she stings like lace. I laugh at my own tears. Guess I'm ready for the show. Maybe it's time to let the old ways go. That I'm feeling low. Maybe it's time to let the old ways go. Where will I go? Maybe it's time to let the old ways go. Where I see that view, I wanna be with you in harmony.
So go see Maybe Fern live. They are so much fun. Find out everything you want to know about them at maybe.fernband.co. Hazel, I have to ask, what do you think of the band?
I think this is one of the best bands I've ever heard. It's tight.
Yeah.
You are inspired. I love the way you put your idea across. Great voices, oh my stars. Keep doing what you're doing.
I agree.
Make him work back there.
Yeah, make it work. Thanks for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. But before I leave you, if you love Elvis, just wait until you meet Shelvis. She and the Roustabouts brought their electrifying, hip-shaking energy to the Coco studio, and trust me, the king would absolutely approve.
Coffee factor, bacon crisp, pancakes and some eggs. The breakfast tea's the place to be when you want to go get laid. Waitress wears those ugly shoes, they're up in a bun. She looks at me and I know she knows when the bill comes I'm gonna run. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the breakfast king. I spent my cash at the bar. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the breakfast king. I wonder where I put my car. Hey. Stayed too long at Herman's. I drank too many stouts. The band was friggin' awesome. It was Elvis and the Roustabouts. Met a girl named Carla, another one named Jean, a guy named Steve, and a girl named Shirley. Sure was the scene. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the Breakfast King. I spent my cash at the bar. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the Breakfast King. I wonder where I parked my car. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Oh, walk the dog, man. Well, it's 2 a.m. Well, it's 2 a.m. Well, it's 2 a.m. Wonder where I parked my car. Hey. This is my favorite part. Shovel short likes a bunch of hotties young and old. I buy them drink and smoke them up, but they just stay cold. I think they really like me, and then they start to mock. I guess it's not so cool to wear my sandals with my socks. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the Breakfast King. I spent my cash at the bar. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the Breakfast King. I wonder where I parked my car. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Don't you know that I'm walking down the street, thinking who I might be, thinking everything is feeling alright. Then I said I might be right. I was sad as I can be. Let it be, get to me. Today's gonna be a new day. Everything is gonna be okay. I was sad as I can be. Let it be, get to me. Today's gonna be a new day. Don't you know I'm not the only one? Throw shadows at the sun, but I'm here to hold you down. I just want to hang around, take a dark cloud away from here. Don't continue through my year. Got some sunshine in my soul. Now you know I'm on a roll. Got my people here with me. Now my eyes see clearly. Today's gonna be a new day. Everything's gonna be okay. Got my people here with me. Now my eyes see clearly. Today's gonna be a new day. Hey, hey, hey! day. Everything's gonna be okay. Got my people here with me. Now my eyes see clearly. Today's gonna be a new day. Hey, hey, hey! It's you that I'm craving, oh yeah. I'm ready to go. You tease and you flirt in the super short skirt. I'm on my knees in the dirt. Baby, let's go. I can hear your heartbeat. You're so friggin' sweet. I swear I'm not a freak. Just so to go. When you give me that look, I knew I was hooked. You rewrote my book. I said, baby, let's go. I hear what you're saying. I want to just sway it. It's you that I'm craving, oh yeah. I'm ready to go. Who's that girl you're with? She looks really pissed. Oh no. And this is just a twist. I guess it means no.
You can find more music from Shelvis and the Roustabouts at their website. Just go to shelvisandtheroustabouts.com. We so appreciate you coming along with us for 2025's Best of Good Friends Friday. If you know any bands that would like to join our Colorado and Company stage, hit us up. Just email us at mikecoco@9news.com and we will check them out. In the meantime, keep up with everything we're doing by following us on Instagram at co&co9. Now remember, everybody you encounter is facing that uphill battle and you know nothing about it. So just be patient, kind, and gentle, and then apply that to yourself. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye! Shelvis and the Roustabouts.